This video is a basic guide to feeding your show steer.
The stockyard, it's my backyard.
One of the most important aspects of feeding your show steer, or any animal for that matter, is measuring how much they eat. Therefore, have some scales around so you can weigh the feed you are giving them. This is especially important if you're mixing your own feed. It also can be helpful for you to weigh your calf periodically to check his progress.
The stockyard, it's my backyard. That's where I grew up. Well, if you're down in the chutes, twirling the loops.
Next on the priority list, and something that we don't think about as often, is water. Clean, fresh water should be available at all times. Dry feed intake is closely associated with how much water they consume. Water sources should be cleaned at least weekly.
That's where I grew up.
Next, we'll cover the basics of bunk management. The total amount of feed fed per day should be divided into at least 2 meals per day. Feed approximately around 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. You can feed approximately half their daily allowance of feed in the morning and the other half in the evening. During particularly hot weather, cattle may not feel like eating much during the day. The daily feed allotment can be changed to approximately 40% of their feed fed in the morning and 60% in the evening if daytime feed intake is a problem.
An animal that is gaining weight at a moderate rate needs about 1.5% of their body weight in concentrates per day. Rapidly growing cattle, such as steers and bulls, can be safely fed up to 2 to 2.25% of their body weight in concentrates. Very high grain diets can be an important factor for hair growth, an important part to making your show steer look its best. Dusty or moldy feeds should not be used. Coughing can sometimes be an indication of dusty feeds. If the problem persists, consider feeding steam flaked or steam rolled grain. Any processing done should not make the grain too fine. If it looks like hog feed, it's ground too fine. Corn, oats, barley, and sometimes milo and wheat are the main energy sources of a show cattle diet. Corn and oats are the most widely used in those diets. On the downside, oats are normally too expensive to be included in standard diets. They are, however, used in creep diets and starting cattle on feed for the first time. However, oats can be a useful supplement in place of corn for show cattle type diets.
Now, this all may sound a little bit complicated, but feeding your show steer correctly does have its benefits. The steer currently in the ring is the Fort Worth champion and sold for over $230,000.
One distinct difference from commercial diets to show cattle diets is an increase in percentage protein for added muscle growth to catch your judge's eye in the show ring. Soybean meal is the most commonly used protein supplement in show cattle. Another preferred natural protein source is linseed oil meal. Normally, natural protein sources are preferred over those containing non-protein nitrogen for show cattle. Common minerals you will need to add to your show diet are salt, calcium, and phosphorus. Show steers rarely need phosphorus, but an added calcium source should be considered. A suitable calcium source is feed-grade limestone. Use trace mineral salt to avoid possible deficiencies of other minor minerals. A 50-50 mix of limestone and salt, available free choice, may be adequate if mixing feed facilities are limited. Commercial feed companies produce complete mineral mixes which are available for your local feed dealers.
Vitamin A is the most important vitamin requirement for show cattle. It can be provided in the feed or by injection. However, in show steers, fed vitamins are preferred rather than injectables. Using high-quality feeds can reduce some of the concern about other vitamins. A commercial supplement fortified with proteins and vitamins can be used to prevent any deficiencies. Yeast products can be a good source of B vitamins. They are most useful during times of stress, such as hauling your steer to a jackpot show. Roughages are a key component to keeping your steer's gut going and giving them that show-winning fill. Feed at least 4 to 5 pounds of hay daily. A good quality grass hay is a great choice for your show steer. Wheat bran or dried beet pulp are good feed for adding bulk to the diet. However, neither should be fed at over 20% of the diet. Milk replacer or linseed oil are excellent for promoting hair growth and adding gloss to the hair. Wheat germ oil may be added to the diet to give hair shine. Although you may not want to use all of these products at the same time, too much oil causes diarrhea, and none of us like that. To reduce dust and increase palatability, add wet products such as the oil and diluted molasses to the feed just prior to feeding. Then thoroughly mix all ingredients of the concentrate portion of the diet.
Many feed companies have complete diets that can be fed to calves at various stages of development. Ideally, work with someone knowledgeable of cattle nutrition to develop a specific diet for your calf with your available feeds.